Hello, guys and gals of greatness. I used to make a bunch of like comics and drawings like back in the day, but I just kind of stopped, and it was because I got like demotivated back in like 2020 or so, I think. And I don't really draw as often as I used to. I used to draw almost daily, and now I draw like every few months or so. I used to make bunch of comics, and I just stopped doing the comics completely. And recently, I was like, oh, I want to get back into drawing, so I looked up like some drawing tablets and I found some pretty good drawing tablets. I remember I tried to look up a drawing tablet back in the day, like in middle school. I remember I saw this girl that used to sit next to me in middle school, and she'd always draw on this tablet, and I was like, I'm so jealous. Like, I want to do that too. But every time I looked up like tablets that I wanted, it was just too expensive. But now, now I'm able to get one, so I'm like, And I was getting kind of excited for it, like, ah, man, I can't wait to make my comics again. I haven't done them in years. And I started going through my older comics, and it really, really made me realize wow, I used to actually really enjoy this. Like these comics are so great. I forgot how funny they were to me. Like I love it. Like the story I was building up, the characters, the jokes, it was just so funny. And I forgot how much I enjoyed it. So now I'm like really pumped to be able to get back into it. So I'm excited. I have a lot of plans now for comics. I hope this doesn't age terribly. Like maybe someday I'm just like, oh, here I am still in the future, not making comics and drawings like I wanted to. Hopefully I'm making them. I better be. I have some ideas for like maybe I want to make like a new comic with the drawing tablet, and then I also want to like start remastering some of my older comics, but digitally, just make them digital and color them. Finally, I don't even know if I really posted too many comic videos. I think I did, but my videos are like just me panning left to right, reading them out, and I don't like that. I prefer people to be able to read them on their own, in their own time, in their own pace, instead of having me read it out to them and probably just make them feel uncomfortable hear my voice, because I don't think my voice will suit everyone's like preference. So I prefer people to be able to read it on their own and just to be able to see the whole comic page in front of them instead of having to like see this whole zoomed in video of it. I hate that. Like that's why doing traditional art was just so hard for me because I just didn't like how it looked in my camera and stuff. Like every time I take a picture, it didn't look nice. It was kind of a terrible quality picture, and I didn't like the lighting. I didn't like the glare or whatever. And doing it digitally would just be so much easier. I don't even have to worry about cropping or anything. I just have to like add watermarks, maybe lower the quality a little bit or something. I don't know, and then I post it. And that's about it. Like I don't have to be like, oh, and they make a whole video of me reading it out, like, because that's like all I could really do back in the day. But soon I'll finally just be able to post it. I can't wait. Like I have so many ideas for just what I want to do. Uh, it's so it's so fun to be able to like look back on it. I didn't even expect to like just go through my comics and like remember how fun it was. Like I thought I'd just be like, oh yeah, this stuff. I remember this. Okay. And then when I started reading it, I was like staying up all night just looking through my comics. Like wow. And I read through every one of them. I read through every single one of my comics that I wrote. And I was like, damn, a lot of them just end. Like I just stopped, and I'm like, why did I stop? It was just getting good. I got so annoyed. I was reading this one comic. I think it's called Puppy versus the Demon, and at the end, it's just like this character is attacking this guy, and he just suddenly is kind of like taunting them, like, "Oh, what are you gonna do about it?" And then it's just suddenly that's it. And I was like, "What? Like, no, I want to see what they're gonna do. Like, what were they gonna say? How were they gonna respond? How are they gonna defeat him?" And nothing. It's just like that's it. That's the end of the comic, and I'm like, wow, I never finished it, and it made me so annoyed. Like I need to start finishing my comics, and now I have the chance. I can start doing them digitally, so I can like maybe post the first few pages of like the paper stuff or whatever someday somehow, and then like upload the rest in digital artwork, or maybe just make the whole thing again in digital artwork, and just have that version. There was one comic I remember I was trying to remake called "Welcome to My World." And by the way, this section of the video is just going to be me basically talking about my older comics. The whole point of the video, that like me getting a drawing tablet and being excited, it's kind of past. This part is just going to be me talking about my comics now at this point. So I was working on this comic called "Welcome to My World." I was remaking it because my original comic I didn't like it. It was just like really sketchy looking, really ugly, and it had really bad characters and jokes and pacing. Oh my god, the jokes! I went through them recently, and they're just so terrible. I was like, no, it's just awful. Like, there's so many personal jokes. I just like loved having personal jokes in my comics that it just made it unfunny for anyone else reading it, and I just didn't like it. So, and even now, it's not really that funny anymore because those jokes kind of died. It's just old jokes. So I just don't like it. So I can't wait to like redo that whole thing. I mean, I started redoing it like years ago. I remade it partly, and I just kind of stopped after like three, no, sorry, 2 pages, and I think there's like a third one, but it has like barely any panels on it, like one or two or something like that. And I want to be able to like continue that and like get rid of some of those bad parts from the original comic. And there's one joke I remember I really liked in the original comic that I can't have now, and I'll talk about it. The joke was like my superhero character in this comic. He is alerted by like this big explosion in the city, and he knows he's gonna have to go out there and fight the bad guy that's causing it. And he's like, "Hey, creator, can you like just skip past this? Like just show the part where I win." It's like, "Nah, all right, fine." And then like his sidekick Barney tells him, "Get back to work, Brian." And I thought it was so clever at the time. I love like the fourth wall break stuff. It's kind of fun. And I also loved like the sidekick's like response because it was like a double meaning kind of thing. Like he said, "Get back to work, Brian," which is the name of my superhero character as well. So he's telling Brian, the superhero, to get back to work. Continue saving the city, stop talking to the creator, and focus. But he's also telling the creator to get back to work, like on the comic, continue the comic, so we can get moving forward. And I remember loving that joke like crazy when I was younger, and I wrote that, and I was like, "Ha ha, oh, that's so clever of me." And then I kind of find it cringe, but I still like it in a way. Like I still feel like I should include it in my comic, but I can't because I realized that at the time I didn't realize the plot hole that I put in there. The plot hole is that the characters in that moment of the story should not know that they're like characters in the comic. They shouldn't know yet. They only find out later on. So I can't have that joke. Maybe later I can, like when I remake the comic, I can probably put it in later after they find out that Puppy is me and like I'm the creator and all that. They'll probably have that joke somewhere else later on in the story. But the point is, I have to move that now for sure. I know I'm gonna have to change that, even though I love that joke. I most likely will have to just cut it or move it into a later part of the story, and I'm like so sad about that. I'm like that was like one of my favorite moments in that old comic, and I remember always smiling at that when I see it. I'm like, it's just a stupid like joke or whatever, but I just love it. But I can't wait to like see what it's gonna turn into. Like I'm just gonna be able to like, make everything better for me personally, at least. I don't know if it's gonna be better for everyone else, but for me, I hope it's gonna be a much more like fulfilling story than the original one. The original one's kind of paced terribly. It had like random jokes that made no sense to people. There was like random like pacing issues. I think I said that already, but there's pacing issues during the fight scenes. The fight scenes are terrible. I think I structured them terribly. I want to do them completely different. But then again, I'm not really sure how to do it completely different. I still want to have some of the same like bits, like the whole clone sequence. There's a sequence where like the robot man. Yes, that's his name. I know, really dumb. There's a reason why his name is that, but it's really dumb sounding without the context. It's still kind of dumb sounding even with the context, but I think with the context it would be better. Just I don't want to make this video any longer than it has to be, so just go with it for now. The bad guy in this comic is the robot man and the demon, but the robot man in this scene is the main focus. So the robot man is fighting Brian. He's like a clone of himself, and like Brian has to find out which one is the clone, which one isn't. And then there's like one point where he's like, "Oh, you stopped the clone," but then he forgets that the other guy still exists. Like just because he killed the clone doesn't mean the other one isn't still around. He's still able to like attack you. And there's like a moment where it's like, "Oh, I'm stupid. Like why did I forget what the real one? Like I killed the clone and thought, oh, I'm done." And then he surprises him. He's like, "You forgot about me, you idiot." Blah 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 blah. And I kind of want to keep that, but I definitely want to word it better because I think the writing in that scene was terrible. It was so bad. Anyways, so I want to rant more about this kind of stuff, but I think this is going on for too long. I just want to make a quick video to let people know that I can't wait. Like I'm getting back into comics. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. I really hope I get back into it because I'm so excited for so many things that I can do in my story. You have no idea. I've like so many ideas. I can't wait. Oh man, I have like an idea about like making like robot versions of certain characters, like making like a weird clone like thing. I don't know, but I feel like I might disrespect some of the older characters that the clones or the robots are gonna be based on. I feel like I shouldn't do that. I should just leave the story where it is instead of reusing the same old characters over and over. Like that gets kind of tiring over time. But I don't know. Those characters are so iconic in my story that I feel like I should kind of bring them back, just for like the new comics or something, or do something with it. Maybe not, but we'll see how it goes. The point is, I have all these ideas flowing, and that's good because that means I got so much potential for like amazing comic. I can't wait to like, see what I pick and I do. That's gonna be so fun. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I hate being like excited in a video because I think it's so cringy. Every time I watch my videos back, I'm always like, "Oh my god, shut up, Brian." And I'm sorry about like being so like pessimistic or like down on myself with stuff like that. but I just feel like people also agree. Like people are probably watching this, like, shut up, just get on with it. And I know, I'm sorry. All right, so that's the end of this video. Man, I can't wait. And I really don't like my outro. I started doing an outro in my videos, but it's just so cringy to say. But it's just kind of become my thing that I have to say it. So I guess here I go saying the stupid outro again. Goodbye, goodbye, all you wonderful dreamers. There you go.